And have you ever wondered how a newborn could outsmart a god? Imagine a world of Olympian drama where the tiniest of tricksters causes chaos on his very first day. This is the tale of Hermes, the godling who proves that brains beat brawn, even if you're wrapped in swaddling clothes. Our story begins in a cave on Mount Selene, where Maya, a quiet nymph, gives birth to Zeus's newest son. From the moment he draws his first breath, Hermes is anything but ordinary. Within hours, he wriggles free from his cradle, spots a tortoise outside the cave, and invents a musical instrument by stretching strings across its shell. This clever creation, the first lyre, foreshadows the mischief to come. Still hungry for adventure, the infant god slips past his napping mother and heads towards the pastures of the gods. There, beyond the grasses and under the broad blue sky, he sees Apollo's prized herd of cattle grazing peacefully. The spark of mischief lights up his eyes. Why settle for lullabies when you can pull off a heist? Before Hermes steals your attention again, make sure to like and subscribe so you never miss another divine adventure. For someone who hasn't celebrated his first sunset, Hermes is remarkably resourceful. He cobbles together box sandals and ties brushwood under his tiny feet, creating makeshift shoes that muffle his footprints. He even ties brooms to the cows' tails so that they erase their own tracks while they walk. Then, in a stroke of genius, he drives Apollo's 50 cattle backward through sandy ground so their hoof prints appear to head in the opposite direction. Along the way, he meets an old man tending vines. With the sly smile of a born con artist, Hermes bribes him to keep quiet. When he later returns in disguise and catches the man gossiping, the baby god punishes him by turning him into stone. Hermes continues through shadowy valleys until he reaches the river Alpheus. There he feeds the cattle and, to mark the theft with ritual flair, sacrifices 2 of the cows, burning their hooves and heads so no trace remains. Satisfied, he hides the rest of the herd in a secret byre, hurries back to his cave, squeezes through the keyhole like a puff of mist, and bundles himself back into his blankets as if nothing has happened. Only his mother suspects the truth, but even she can't guess the scale of his mischief. The next morning, Apollo is livid. His sacred herd is missing, and no tracks reveal the thief. He scours the world in frustration, questioning shepherds and travelers. An omen finally leads him to Hermes' cave. There he finds the infant lying innocently in his cradle, sucking his thumb and clutching a tiny lyre. When the sun god demands to know where his cattle are, Hermes bats his wide eyes and claims he doesn't even know what a cow is. Amused yet exasperated, Apollo hauls the baby before Zeus, the king of gods. Zeus listens to the accusations with thinly veiled laughter. He knows his youngest son too well to be fooled for long. Under his father's stern but smiling gaze, Hermes finally relents. He leads Apollo to the hidden cattle, revealing the neatly divided portions of meat from the sacrificial animals, and cheekily announces that he created 12 portions, 1 for each Olympian, including himself. It's the first recorded sacrifice of flesh to the gods. Apollo is irritated by the missing cows and the baby's audacity, but before his anger can ignite, Hermes unveils his secret weapon. Back in the cave, Hermes picks up the tortoise-shell lyre he built on his birthday. He gently plucks the strings, and the air fills with a melody so beautiful that it stops Apollo in his tracks. The hymn praises Apollo's own noble qualities, flattering him with clever lyrics and mesmerizing chords. Enchanted, the sun god's anger melts into laughter. He offers a trade, the entire herd of cattle in exchange for the new instrument. Hermes happily agrees and hands over the lyre. Later, he crafts another invention, a reed pipe, and uses it to persuade Apollo to swap his golden shepherd's staff and some prophetic knowledge. Hermes ends the day not only forgiven, but richer in gifts and respect. Zeus is delighted with his son's cheeky ingenuity. In recognition of his wit and resourcefulness, he appoints Hermes as the official messenger of the gods. To ensure he can move swiftly between worlds, Zeus gifts him winged sandals, a round cap, and a magical staff. Hermes embraces his new role, becoming the patron of travelers, merchants, and even thieves. The tiny bandit who outsmarted a grown god grows into a beloved figure who bridges boundaries and delivers news between realms. As the credits roll on this playful tale, one thing is clear. Sometimes the smallest characters have the biggest impact. Hermes' Great Cattle Heist reminds us that cleverness, music, and a bit of charm can turn even the most daring misdeeds into legends.